Well, this guy's on the wrong side of the road, so that's good. Not sure what's going on here. Just watched the PGA Championship. Man, it was basically anyone's tournament all the way to the last 9 holes or so. Really, the last day there was 10 or 15 people that legitimately could have won the tournament. You shoot a 64 at the last day, you deserve to win, right? That's good to see. I was watching highlights of some other tournaments, and there was a lot of people that choked, unfortunately. You hate to see that. You hate to see someone that probably should win it that loses it, or multiple people that like, I was watching videos of Greg Norman back in like the 80s and 90s. He probably should have won like 6 or 7 major tournaments, and he only won 2. He had a combination of kind of being unlucky with other people doing really well, like with really important shots, and then he himself kind of screwed up under pressure a lot of times. So he ended up only winning two major tournaments instead of probably at least 5 or 6, or maybe even 7. He was tied to a lot of times, and he was in a lot of playoffs, where he lost to Mark Calcavecchia in the British Open in 1989 in a playoff, I believe. He was up 6 strokes against Nick Faldo in 1996, the last day of the Masters, and he lost that. He played terrible, and he got chipped in. Larry Mize in 1987 chipped the ball in. I think that was I wasn't alive for any of this stuff, or for most of it, and he got chipped in on it, and he lost that Masters as well. And I think he was tied to or third in a lot of tournaments. So it's pretty tough to only win a couple of those when you realistically should have won several more. But it's just a testament to how good of a golfer people like him were. It's not easy to consistently be in contention every single week. Maybe you don't win every single week, but you're up there, right? Like, I just look at a guy like Dustin Johnson. He's only won 1 major. He won the 2016 US Open, and he just got a tied second finish because he just made a putt on 18 to go. I think he was 11 under, so he gets another T2 in a major. So obviously you look at people that win the majors, and it's like, wow, that's you won a big event where pretty much all the best players in the world, and it's a big field, are playing in the same week at the same course, right? So it's very competitive, and only like 5 to 10 strokes separate most of the field. So really competitive, and if you win one of those, it's just a testament to how well you're playing at that time. But for guys like Dustin Johnson and Greg Norman of the past, and like Justin Rose is probably one of them, and guys that are consistently, Justin Rose finished like just a few strokes back. I think he was 9 under as well, so like 4th or 5th. It just shows, that's really hard to do. That's really hard to do. Guys like you look at like Brooks Koepka, he's won 4 majors, like all within 2 years, within like 2 years, and he's only won 7 PGA Tour events. So it's a combination of being really good at the right time, and it's hard to win any event, right? But the majors are, typically it's the biggest field, and it's the best players are playing in it every time. So that's pretty cool for him to win it, and he's only 23. So that's, you know, I feel like 5 years ago it was Spieth, right? Everyone was talking about Jordan Spieth, and then he, you know, the last 3 years or so he's been really sort of irrelevant, hasn't really done anything. And so that just, you know, it just shows you a lot of people, you know, the guy's he's like, Jordan Spieth is like my age, so you know, you're out of college, and all you really care about is golf, and you're focused on golf and trying to win in golf. And that's probably what he was 5 or 6 years ago, because he was 20 years old and golf was the only thing on his mind. He didn't have any serious money or serious like commitments, or I don't think the guy's married or anything. But you know, imagine you start winning a bunch of big golf tournaments, you start getting paid millions of dollars, you're getting a lot of attention from people like on social media, and you're you know, you can't really, I'm sure he could, you know, golfers I don't think are like extremely well known, but they are by a certain demographic, and you start getting a lot more attention. And so maybe, you know, he's doing all sorts of like ads and sponsorships and TV commercial stuff, and I see him on TV, and so that, you know, it's not to say that that takes away from your golf game, but it does a little bit, right? I mean, you're the same fire you had to win, it's going to be cooled off a little bit because you've already won, and you know, you have a bunch of money, and so that's like the typical progression. So this Colin Morikawa guy looks to be pretty, you know, pretty focused on golf. Like, he just graduated last year from college, and he won a major tournament, so that's awesome. But I think at some point, you know, winning millions of dollars and having already done it, you know, unless you're just a really only care about golf, which I think is such a small percentage of those guys, you know. No, I mean obviously they all care about golf, but the ones that don't let anything else distract them at all are pretty rare. Like even Tiger Woods, you know, through no fault of his own, I guess. I mean, he was injured, but you know, he has kids, and like he was saying, you know, my kids are older, and so he doesn't, it's not like he's out there playing every week, right? I mean, he really only shows up for like the really big tournaments, you know. So, and that's just life. So the guys that are like typically right out of college, they have the hot, I mean, they are hot to win, right? And they have a lot to prove, and they want to start making money, and so you can see that I just ran a red light. That was a stale yellow. That's fine. So that's my take on the golf. That's just the golf takeaway. It's really random, but I've been watching that tournament, so that's my takeaway on it. Gonna end this one and talk about something else.